Virgo, your worst fear is imperfection, okay? Since we're not perfect and you're not perfect, this fear will always be confirmed. And this is whether you realize it or not. It is best that you, as a Virgo, if you have Sun in Virgo, Moon in Virgo, Ascendant in Virgo, or on any angle in your chart, then you have kind of this Virgoian quality in you. What we need to know is that it's best to accept imperfections and that it's a natural state of the world and also humanity. We all fear that things, may go wrong, but as a Virgo, you always take that as your own fault. Sometimes, especially we as women, we hear that nagging voice in our head, saying that this is our fault or that is your fault, especially when it comes to relationships. I want you to check where Virgo is in your chart and see if it's in a prominent place, because maybe that's the voice in your head that's, blaming you for things or when things don't go right. Another thing with Virgos is that, and I'm specifically talking here about the Sun in Virgo, but you might react to things not being perfect by avoiding responsibility, and also to protect your ego, you might shift the responsibility to others, or you might do backbiting things like talking behind people's backs and things like that, or you might start criticizing them. That's kind of the negative qualities about Virgo. But if you have your Sun in Virgo, you have a natural desire to be perfect. This will lead to you wanting to enhance your environment. Your outside reflects your inside. So your environment outside of you, you try to make sure that's perfect to reflect what's inside of you. But of course, like a hypochondriac, those are kind of Virgo types, or, the people who are excessively, those people who are just hypersensitive to dirt and dust and they're hyper clean, stuff like that. That's a Virgo tendency. As a Virgo Sun or anyone with Virgo in the angles, that's something that you'll tend to do, is to be kind of hyper neat. And the more, especially as a Virgo Sun, you have an environment that is nice, neat, and perfect, the more you feel like, or the less flaws you feel internally. The external environment is usually a reflection of your internal environment. The saying goes, cleanliness is godliness. So I think it's saying like your outside is representative of your inner. So that's a very Virgoian thing. And one of the things is, noticing imperfections in anything or anyone. That also mirrors back to you. Once you start criticizing and critiquing everyone or critiquing things around you, it also subconsciously registers as something that's an inner flaw within yourself. So be careful of that. Perfection on the outside. As a Virgo, you kind of want to feel that that's also reflected back on your inside. It's a two-way, it's like a mirror, but you have to understand, like I said before, that we're humans, we're not perfect. Nothing is perfect. When you see the outside and not being perfect, of course, one of the great things is to improve it, to organize it. That's a very Virgoian trait, organization. As a Virgo, you evaluate yourself through your surroundings, and you assess levels of perfection, which is the criticizing, to search for improvement. So you assess the level of perfection to search for things that needs to be improved. Maturity as a Virgo is going to come when you realize that it's about self-reflection and not criticism. Whether or not it's things on the outside or inside that you're trying to improve, criticizing it. Some criticism is good, but when you see you're always nitpicking and always picking at anything, but just try to, it's about self-reflection versus criticism. You don't want to overly criticize yourself. You don't want to overly criticize others. People don't like that. I'm sure you as yourself don't like that either. About self-reflection more than anything. That's the Sun in Virgo. You strive for perfection within and without. Outside is always going to reflect your inside. You always want to improve your surroundings. As a Virgo, those are the traits that you have with the sun in Virgo. I'm going to go over the moon in Virgo soon, and I'll go over the oils and things like that. I do have a Divine Trio astrology reading. In that, just go to my website and or read my blog actually, and usually I'll have like a discount code on there that you could use if you want to get your sun, moon, and rising astrology reading, which is your personality persona. You could go ahead and do that. Otherwise, make sure you like and follow, and let me know as a Virgo if those traits, the traits of perfection on the outside, is something that you look for. Ciao.